Hey everybody, so today I thought I would take a short bike ride. It's a little bit cloudy today, but I really just want to get my legs moving again today. We did take that 33-mile ride yesterday, but I'm just itching to keep going. So we're going to do that, but I'm also going to show you guys my bike collection. So today we'll do the e-bikes and the regular bicycles. And then we'll go for a short ride just around the neighborhood, probably just a quick 5, 6, maybe 8-mile ride. And that way you can take a look at my bikes and, we'll do some more in-depth reviews on them at a later time. But I think we'll be taking the Lectric XPRESS for the ride, so that'll be fun. So let's go check out the bike collection. All right, so let's go take a look at the bike collection and the selection that we have. So first off is the Lectric XPRESS 2.0. So this is the bike that I was riding yesterday on the Lehigh Valley Trail. Excellent bike for any off-road excursion. I don't ride any hardcore mountain biking trails with this, but the Genesee Valley Greenway Trail, which runs across the street from my house here, it's all grass and some gravel and some rockier conditions. This bike is absolutely perfect for that trail. And then over here we have, this is the Lectric XPRESS 750. This one comes in two different motor options, the 750 and the 500. This is the 750. I opted with a little more power. These two bikes are both from Lectric e-bikes. Now, they're very similar in that they have a similar controller, a similar screen setup, and similar geometry. But as you can see, we have the fat tire bike with the 26x4 fat tires, and then this has 27 by 2.1. With tires. So basically how I view it is, here's your off-road machine and here's your on-the-road machine. Excellent bikes. I love Lectric e-bikes. I love their products. I had 5 of them at one time, at one point, but I whittled it down to these two. These are the 2 bikes that I use the most. Especially in the springtime when I'm just getting my legs going, I tend to opt for the electric bikes to get myself conditioned back into riding. And then that takes us to, this is my newest regular mountain bike, so this is not an e-bike. This is the Ozark Trail FS.2 Slalom. Now this bike here went crazy on YouTube, and I decided to pick one up as soon as it came out. And I got it. I love it. I've customized it a little bit. Basically touch points, so pedals, grips, seat. I put a dropper post in it. I did put line pull hydraulic brakes on it for right now until I get the whole hydraulic setup. I did change the stem. But this is a great bike. I mean, I'll get into pricing later what all these cost, but this is a great bike. The platform is great. It just needs it needs some upgrades. I will say that. I will be upgrading the fork to an air fork and the rear shock to an air shock in the future. But this bike, I've had it out a few times and it's great. My only complaint is it's a little bit heavy. And from one Ozark Trail to another Ozark Trail, this is the Ozark Trail G.1 Explorer gravel bike. And this is another Walmart bike, but on this one, I kind of upgraded it similar to this one. This has the line pull hydraulic brake calipers, but the difference on this is this bike with those calipers works great. It originally came with the drop bars, but I changed it over to kind of like these Jones style bars for more hand positioning. And also went from these come stock with a 2x7 drivetrain, but I changed it to a 1x7 with the Shimano Mega Gear cassette. So it gives you a little bit taller extra gear for climbing. I did add a rack on this one. I do plan on doing some bike packing with this bike at some point. I just got to get my endurance back up from sitting around over the winter time and having such a wet spring. My legs and my body have to get back used to riding again. But this is going to be my bike packing bike. The other bicycle that I have is hanging up over there. This is the Kona Lava Dome. Hopefully you guys can see that. But that's the bike that I had out on the Letchworth Trail. Great bike. I got a killer deal on that one. It was like a leftover model. So I picked it up for $500. And what I didn't tell you guys in the last video when I rode that bike is it actually came damaged from FedEx. And the manufacturer gave me another $100 off. So actually that's a $400 bike. So I thought that was a great deal. It's originally like $800 or $900 retail. But for a hardtail, that is an awesome, awesome, solid bike. So it was $400 for that one. Great deal. I really like these Walmart bikes because I can upgrade them as I want to, and it gives me something to do. It gives me a project. So this one here retails for $248 for the drop bar version. They do have a flat bar version, same price. Great deal. $248. I think don't quote me on that, but it's like it's well under $300 for that bike. Killer deal for a gravel bike. The Slalom, the FS.2, when I bought that, it was $448. I'm not sure what they're retailing for now, but I believe it is still under $500. So for a dual suspension mountain bike, that is a killer deal, and it's a great platform to upgrade. So if you like to tinker, you like to upgrade your stuff, that's the perfect mountain bike. The Lectric XPRESS, I bought that on a pre-order when it first came out. I think it was around $1,200, $1,300 before tax. And then the Lectric X Peak 2.0 was in the neighborhood of $1,500, $1,600 before tax. I also bought that when it just came out as a pre-order. So that's the bicycle collection, e-bikes and regular bikes. Since we're out here, we might as well look at the motorcycles, because I'll be doing some motorcycle content as well. So this is the second bike I've ever had, I've owned. I started out on a Honda Navi, which is basically a scooter, but I wanted to get used to riding on the street, and once I was comfortable with that, I went and picked this up. This is the Royal Enfield Hunter 350. So it's a 350 cc engine, single cylinder, great bike. But after a while, I noticed that it's a little bit too small for me, and not the power wise. It's plenty fast enough. It struggles going up hills sometimes, but it's just physically a small bike, and I am about 6 foot tall and 200 pounds, and it got to the point where it felt like a toy. It shifts beautifully. I loved it. I still ride this bike. It's a beautiful bike. I love it. It shifts wonderfully. Like I said, it's just a little bit too small for me. So I went and I picked up this. This is the Royal Enfield Scram 411. So this is basically a Royal Enfield Himalayan with a little bit different setup. I just got this one a couple months ago. I found it. It's a 2023, so it was on basically dealer clearance. And I went and picked it up out of Pennsylvania and did a few things to it. It's barely broken. It doesn't even have 300 miles on it yet, so it's not even had its first service. But physically, it's a bigger bike, which fits me better. I guess I should say I fit on the bike better. So I'm really enjoying this bike so far. I haven't had it out that much because we've had such a wet spring and a crappy spring. But I plan on getting out on that bike a lot more. So this one is a 411cc single cylinder engine. Both of them are fuel injected, which is great. But I really feel a lot more comfortable on the 411 than I do the 350, but they're both great bikes. Price-wise, I'll just disclose. I mean, I bought this one brand new back in 2023, and it was in the neighborhood of, I don't remember the retail, but with tax and all that crap, it was about $5,500. This bike here, this was on dealer clearance for, I think they sold it to me for out the door $3,800. So that was a great deal on a brand new motorcycle. So it had 0 miles on it. It was just a dealer left in stock, and they marked it way down for me. So Sport Track and Trail, if you're listening, if you're watching, anybody from them over there in Pennsylvania, thanks for the great deal. And that one came from Royal Enfield of Buffalo. They were also a great dealer. I like obscure bikes, as you can tell. But we're going to get going here in a few minutes on the Lectric XPRESS 750 and go take a ride just around the neighborhood and take a look at what's going on in the world today. Alright, so again, we're going to be in past pedal assist mode 2, and this bike really takes off. Yeah, this bike, compared to the X-Peak, this bike is a lot more peppier, it feels like. And the reason for that is the weight. This bike here is about 15 pounds lighter than the X-Peak. So you definitely feel it. Other than that, the weight and the style of tires, both of those bikes are, the X-Peak and the XPRESS, both bikes are basically the same. The frame's a little different, but in layman's terms, they're both basically the same. So we're headed down Route 19 right now, south. The weather said it was 70 out, but it feels more like 55. Not sure what's up with that. But it ain't raining, so I'll take it. We're gonna get out and enjoy the fresh air, because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Maybe that's what I'm feeling coming our way. It's definitely getting more overcast than it was. I will also say the difference on this bike is it has the TC80 fork on the front, and it is not as plush as it's not as plush as the Renegade that's on the X-Peak, but this is primarily going to be ridden on the road, so you really don't need, a really plush fork. You really want things to be a little more rigid, but it's nice to have that suspension in the front just to take off some of that rigidity when you're hitting those bumps and any potholes. So we're going up Ballard Road here. There's a pretty good hill, so you'll see the climbing capabilities of this bike. It climbs really well. So up here is a farm. I usually stop and talk to the horses if they're out. We'll see if they're out today, hopefully. You can really hear that motor working. The X-Peak motor is a little more quieter than this one, I will say that too. But I kind of like the fact that I can hear this one working, you know, when I want it to work, when it should be working. So we're going up a pretty good steep hill here, doing 13.5 miles an hour. And it's just chugging right up the hill for me. Oh, here are some cows, but looks like my horses were in for the night, or the evening. Let's see if we can get them to come closer, maybe. Good evening. How are you? It's good to see you. How's that grass tasting for you? Is it good? Looks like it's good. Looks like you're mowing it right down. Yeah. You want to come and say hi? No? You're too scared? This one right here. It's just staring a hole into me. Alright, well, I see you're shy. It's alright. I won't bother your dinner no more, okay? Alright, I'll leave you be. Have a good night. I always find myself stopping and talking to the farm animals. I love animals in general. And I just find it so comical how a lot of animals, if not most or all animals, they have such a personality, you know. It's just, it's beautiful, but it's funny at the same time, you know. They're like children, they're innocent. But anyway, that's enough about animals. Let's get back to this ride. So this is the portion of the ride where it goes it gets very steep. So I'm going to let off the pedals because this is a torque sensor. So I'm going to demonstrate, I should say, what a torque sensor does. So I'm just lightly pushing on the pedals right now. And the motor is engaged, but it's not pushing very hard. I'm going to start the pedal harder and you can listen to this motor kick in. So with the torque sensor, you can see more pressure you put on the pedals, the faster or the harder that motor's going to work to get you where you're going. So it's a lot better if you're looking to ride a bike, an e-bike for exercise. Definitely get one with a torque sensor because it's going to give you a more natural feel with a ride. You're still going to work for it with a torque sensor, but it's going to help you up the hills. It's going to let you go longer distances. I'm not out of breath, but I'm definitely feeling, you know, the exercise. And that's what I want in an e-bike. I don't want to be lazy and just, not lazy, because I know some people buy e-bikes for mobility. If they have mobility issues or, you know, they don't have a car and they're getting back and forth to work, by all means, if that's you, I'm not trying to offend you. But what I use an e-bike for is to stay active and go longer distances. And so a torque sensor bike is definitely the way to go. I should actually explain what look at that turkey vulture. Wow. Those things are huge. Feeding off some roadkill. But what a torque sensor is it's actually for lack of a better term, it's a strain gauge inside the bottom bracket. And it's connected to the electric motor. So what that strain gauge does, it measures the amount of force that your legs are putting on the pedals. And it adjusts the output of the electric motor to whatever your legs are doing. So that's why it makes a more natural feel. So we're going to go fast down the hill now. I'll give you the peak miles an hour. $30. So that was 30. Basically not pedaling at all. I pedaled a little bit at the top just to get a run. But I will say this is a fast bike. I've had it up to 30 on flat land with pedal assist 5 and pedaling the hell out of it, but I'm not on these bikes for speed though. I'm all about endurance. Alright, so we'll downshift, going up another little hill here. Man, I like your helmet. Thanks. I gotta get me one of those. How you doing? Good. Alright, we're gonna wait for the dump truck that's coming. I don't want to get plowed down by him. So right here is a cool spot. I'll give you a look-see. It's a really, really cool spot right there. Let's go ahead and check out the other side while the traffic's nice and clear. Really, really cool spot. I've never actually stopped and taken a look at that. So we'll continue our ride on the Lectric XPRESS. Alright, so let's get going here. Stopped and looked at the water. We're gonna pull a... How you doing? We're gonna go right here. So we're gonna be headed mostly downhill. See how fast we can get going here. I'm gonna pedal this time. $33. So 33 in pedal mode, assist 2, and that was gear 5. So you could definitely push it faster. Of course, be careful. Don't be reckless now. Don't get hurt. If you have an e-bike, just be responsible, because there's a lot of people that have e-bikes. Most of them are younger, and I understand the thrill of it. You know, you want to feel the speed and everything. But just be responsible with your e-bikes, because a lot of the laws that are being written into law, a lot of the bills being written into law for e-bikes is because of speed, and it's kind of ruining it for a lot of people who love e-bikes and just ride them for endurance, just to have fun. A lot of senior citizens ride e-bikes, and it helps them get out and do more. And I'll say this about cycling in general. Riding a bike will put years on your life. I don't care what anybody says. Riding bikes saved me. If I didn't have bikes to ride, I don't know who I would be or where I would be right now, or where I would have ended up. Quite literally, cycling has saved my life. So it has been proven that cycling is great, not only for your body, but great for your mind. It allows you to get out here, connect with the bike, with nature, with the sun, with being outdoors, fresh air, and that feeling of just gliding on the open road or the bike trail or wherever you are. Or in the forest if you're on a mountain bike. It's just good for you. It's good for your mind. It's like riding, same thing with riding a motorcycle. It's you and the machine and the road, and you got to focus, you know. But at the same time, your mind is clear, you know, because you have to focus. So if you haven't ridden a bike lately, I encourage you to ride one, whether it's a regular bike or an e-bike, or hell, even a scooter or a motorcycle. Just be responsible, be safe, wear a helmet, and enjoy. Because if you're anything like me, it could save your life. It could make you a much happier person. And that's important. Alright, so we're just coming through Fillmore here. We just passed the school on the right-hand side. So I think we're gonna go up the hill here and try to beat this truck. I'm so reckless. Alright, we're gonna go up the hill here, and then we'll go back to Route 19. Alright, so we're gonna go up this really steep hill here. I'm gonna gear down. You can really hear that motor as I push on those pedals come to life. But I still feel it in my legs because I was managing that input. I needed more, so I pedaled more. And on the brakes hard coming down the hill. That is a great hill for bedding in brake pads on a new bike. Don't ask me how I know. We're gonna go off to the left here. And I would encourage the bike snobs that call people with e-bikes lazy. I would encourage those people to try an e-bike. They are not for lazy people. Of course, yes, you get people who ride them with the throttle and da-da-da. But the people that are pedaling, they're actually doing the work. So, and it's a different experience, you know. Not everybody with an e-bike is lazy. So I'm talking to you bike snobs. Don't be mean. I can't tell you how many times I've been riding down a bike trail on an e-bike and not going fast at all, just riding. And I'll have regular cyclists look at me and shake their head. I even had this one time I was on the trail and a guy stopped me, and he looked me dead in the eye and said, well, you can't be riding that on the bike trail. I said, well, why not? And he said, well, you're tearing up the pavement. There's too much power on those e-bikes. You're tearing up the pavement. It's not good. And I said, sir, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I'm riding down the bike trail at 10 miles an hour. I'm just enjoying the ride. I'm not hurting nobody. My wheels are no harder, softer, bigger, or smaller than anybody else's bike here. So I have to agree with you, sir, but have a great day. So, you'll run into those people. And I've had regular cyclists that just blow by me and I'm on an e-bike. And that's cool too. Just do what you gotta do, it's fine. Just don't be stupid. And if somebody is out enjoying the day on their bike, I mean, they're not being reckless, just leave them alone. Let them be. I would encourage more community in the cycling world. I think that there's a lot of division in the cycling world, Well, I ride a road bike and you ride a mountain bike, and you ride an e-bike, or it just or the one that gets me is I ride a Trek or a Specialized, and a Ozark Trail or a Kent or a Pacific bike isn't a Walmart bike, a Target bike. That's not a real bike. Well, a bike is a bike. It's got two wheels, a chain, and handlebars. A bike is a bike. You don't know everybody's situation, so maybe they can't afford a big fancy brand. Maybe they're just getting started on their cycling journey and that's all they can afford. And in my point of view, there is nothing wrong with a Walmart bike, a Target bike, a Dick's Sporting Goods bike. It doesn't matter. Just ride. You do your thing and ride. And I invite the community of cycling in general, mountain biking, road cycling, gravel bikes, get together. Don't put each other down because you don't have a specific brand or type of bike. Come together. I always thought it would be cool to have a bike ride, like a organized bike ride, where it's 2 or 3 different surfaces, and everybody can bring whatever bike they want. You got a gravel bike? Bring it. You got an e-bike? Bring it. You got a road bike? Bring it. And we're gonna go ride some light trails. We'll ride on the road. We'll ride bike trails. We'll do a multi-surface ride with all types of bikes, all types of people, all types of skill sets, and just let's go ride and see what happens. Just be together. So maybe I'll try to do that at some point and organize a ride. We'll see what would happen. I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to do that, to be honest, but I think it would be a great idea to bring the community of cycling and bike riders together as a whole. And, the mountain bike guys could see what the road cycling guys are all about and what their discipline is. And you could kind of see a little taste of what the mountain bike guys, go through. And the road cyclists could see that. And the e-bike people could see what the regular bike people enjoy so much about theirs, and vice versa. Anyway, that's enough on that, but I just wish everybody would stop being weird about what kind of bike you ride and what brand. It's just stupid. Just a short ride today. I don't know how many miles this is total. I think it's about 8. I didn't want to go on such a long ride because I just did a 33 miler yesterday. And like I said, I'm still getting my legs underneath me for cycling season. So I try not to overdo it too much. I'm going to head off to the right here. I'm going to show you the Greenway Trail. This driveway is a little rough for this bike, but I wanted to show you the Genesee Valley Greenway Trail and kind of what it's like. I'm going to do some videos on this trail. This is the closest trail to my house, but this is what it is. It's just basically grass that they mow down. Pretty short. The grass on the other end there, I'll show you, was very tall. Nobody had come to mow it, so I actually drove my lawn tractor down and I mowed it because it was getting ridiculously long. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go take a couple swipes on it and just clean it up. So that's what I did. I did this side over here, and I did the other side just out of my kindness of my heart. But that's the Greenway Trail. It's mostly just grass. The northern sections are gravel. Some of it is paved. But I'll show you the other side too. It's mostly just grass. So it is best to have either an e-bike or a mountain bike to do this trail. You could do it on a gravel bike, but it's probably going to be a little difficult. I would personally, I've ridden sections of this on a regular mountain bike, and it's pretty tough because of the grass. It's a tough ride. It's bumpy. I would suggest a bike like the X-Peak 2.0 electric bike, because it's going to give you that extra oomph to get through the grass and to really move through this. This bike here is also good for this. Obviously, I'm getting through it right now, but it wouldn't be my first choice, to be honest, just because of the tire setup. Now, you could put different tires on this bike, and I've thought about that. I've actually thought about setting this up as a mountain bike with like mountain bike tires, with the tread style for mountain bike tires and all of that stuff. I still might do that at some point, but I also do a lot of road riding, and this bike is great for road riding. So in the future, if I ever get a little extra money, I might buy another one of these and convert it to a mountain bike. I know one guy on the forum has already done that. Actually, a couple guys have already done that, and they turn out really nice. So, oh, there goes a kitty cat. So I'm gonna ride down to, there's this little spot, another little overlook of the Genesee River. And we'll just ride down there and take a look and see what's going on today. All right, so here's that spot I was talking about. Hopefully you can see, because I know an action camera kind of distorts the picture, but so this is the Genesee River, and this rapid is really cool because you can't access it from this side, but if you go on the road that's over there, I don't know if you probably can't see it on the camera, but there's a trail that comes down and you can get right down to the water level and really get close to those kind of rapids, which is cool. So yeah, that's the Genesee River. And then we turn back, and here's the Genesee Valley Greenway Trail. Oh, I did forget to mention, on the newer versions of the electric bikes, they do have an option in the P settings menu. It's a P12 setting, and you switch it to number 1, and you have a flashing taillight, and you also get a flashing headlight, which is great to have because I usually ride with lights on my bikes, but now I don't have to put a external one on. I can just run it off of the regular electric battery. So that's another great feature with these newer electric brand bikes. All right, so we're just leaving that rapids area on the the Genesee Valley Greenway Trail. Again, this trail is really nice, but it's bumpy in spots, as you can see, but it's a nice trail. There's a lot of wildlife. It does go through the woods in some spots. There's a little bit of road riding. You can actually ride this trail all the way from Rochester to Cuba, New York. I think it's a 90-mile trail in total, 90 some odd miles. But it's a lot of different surfaces, like I said before. So most of it is this grassy surface, and some of the areas don't get mowed a lot, so it does get overgrown sometimes. But like here, it kind of crosses private property, so like they keep it mowed pretty low, which is good. I wish they'd put some gravel down and make this trail a little more popular, a little more nicer. Maybe put some comfort stations in or something every so often. But it does run through very many towns, so you can always stop and get something to eat, or get snacks, or go to the bathroom. In fact, just up the street there's a grocery store. So it is nice for that. I just wish they would improve it a little bit. It is considered, the whole trail is actually considered a New York State park, and it is directly connected to the New York State. It's called the New York State Greenway, Genesee Valley Greenway State Park. Yeah, that's it. I had to think about that because it's a mouthful. But yeah, I like this trail. It's different. It's something different. All right, so we're headed back out to Route 19 here. We're gonna hang a left. The sun's trying to peek out, but it's mostly cloudy. But we're gonna head home, and I will meet you back in the garage, and I'll just say some final words. Well, that was a nice little ride. I enjoyed it. Kind of get my feet moving this evening, and my body moving. So, but thank you guys for joining me on that little adventure today, and joining me for all the adventures that we've taken so far. It kind of sounds strange, but even if nobody's watching, I feel like this camera is slowly becoming my friend. And but I really enjoy getting my story and out there, sharing my experiences, and really connecting with the things that I love, because I know that even though my channel is very small and I don't get many views, I know that at some point somebody will see my videos and be inspired to get out there and do what I'm doing. And I encourage anybody who's watching to just get out and enjoy life. Enjoy nature. Enjoy the wind in your face or in your hair, or whatever it is. But just enjoy life. It's a short journey. I know when I was young, when I was younger, I'm only 36, but I'm gaining a lot of wisdom in life. I think your 30s and into your 40s, that's what happens, because you're really learning lessons finally. But when I was younger, I thought that I was invincible. I never did anything that was, crazy or really outlandish. But I thought that, I was young, that things wouldn't happen to me. And I've been through a lot of physical things. I've been through a lot of emotional things that has been very painful and hard to work through. And when you go through those things and you realize how much time you've wasted either holding yourself back or being in situations where you don't belong or that's not good for you, or just as simple as, hey, I'm going to stay in the house today because it's cloudy and cold and I don't want to get wet or be uncomfortable. I've learned that you have to push yourself to enjoy every moment in your life, and to get outside of your comfort zone so that you can have experiences that make you a better person, that allow you to grow, because that's what it is in this life. It's about growth and sharing your wisdom through that growth with other people so that they can live their lives with ease. I believe it's always a beautiful thing to go through an experience, to share your story, and to motivate others. You can really motivate and heal not only yourself, but others through your pain and what you've been through. And not just the negative things, but the positive things too. It helps to reflect and look at all of those things, your whole life. But that was just a long-winded way to say, just enjoy life. I enjoy my bikes and hiking and riding my motorcycles, but you do whatever makes you happy, and don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody tell you that you're wrong for doing what you love. Because what you love is what makes you, you, and that's what's important. So thank you guys for tagging along with me today. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, my channel is very small. I'm trying to grow it. I don't want to be a social media influencer or anything like that. If that happens, great. But I just want to grow my page, get my story and my word and my adventures out to more people. So if you would like this video, if you did enjoy it, check out my other videos. And if you like my content, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'd really love to take you along on more of my journeys and adventures. So thank you guys. I love you all, and have a beautiful day, evening, morning, wherever you are. Take care. Peace out.